Thank you so much for joining me once again for another episode of Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living. I'm your host, Ellen Nicholas, sensuality consultant, author, and lover of life. Hello, young lovers, wherever you are. Today's topic is a continuation of the ebook I'm creating, Becoming the Greatest Physical Lover. And today we're going to talk about kissing. Kissing is your introduction. It says a lot about you as a lover. Most women will know from the very, very first kiss if you're going to be the kind of lover that will be sensitive to her or will roll over her like you're rolling through. So perfecting a kiss is a good technique to have under your belt, and it's not a difficult thing to do. Kissing says a lot about a lover. It's their initial introduction to the first opening, and if it's done well, there will probably be a lot more openings in the coming future. Of course, if the kiss is too rough, too sloppy, too dry, it can be off-putting. And then it goes without saying, but I'll mention it anyway. It's really important that your breath is fresh. If you've eaten a sandwich that's covered with onions and garlic and all kinds of other very strong flavors, whether you're male or female, to kiss another person with that mouth is off-putting. Now, no matter what your technique is, you could be the best kisser in the world, but if your mouth has strong flavors to it, it's going to be off-putting. So don't work against yourself. Give yourself every opportunity, whether you have to brush your teeth or gargle or take a mint or something. Even it's a good idea to scrape your tongue once a day to keep it nice and clean. So remember, kissing starts in the mouth, and if the mouth is clean, then you're going to have an even playing field. So now there are many different kinds of kisses. For women, kissing can tell a lot about you as a lover, whether you're passionate or whether this is going to be a wham bam thank you ma'am. The lips are so incredibly sensitive, and if you think about it, this area of the body, the lips in particular, are connecting your second chakra, this chakra here, to their chakra. So you're actually exchanging energy, and you're doing it via the tongues and the open mouth. So it's a good idea to remember that tongue can be pretty powerful, and you want to use it delicately, and you want to use it for good. Not everybody likes the same thing. So if you were kissing someone in a particular way, your first lover, and they really liked it, maybe you were using your tongue around the rimming of their mouth and they really liked it. Some women do, but not all women do. So it's always a good idea, especially when you're new with someone, to ask, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like whatever you're doing? And then if you get a positive response, experiment and go further with it. And if you get a negative response, be sensitive, because the bottom line is you want to give the kind of kisses that a woman will respond to and want to kiss you back. If all you're doing is just kissing her to sort of get off because you're going to overpower her, then she's not going to want to warm up to you. And if she doesn't warm up to you, you're not trying to be an incredibly delightful lover. You're being a wham bam thank you ma'am, and that will probably be the first and last time that you get a chance with this girl. So if you want to make an impression, remember that the kiss says a lot about you, and the lips are very, very sensitive. And if you want that first kiss to be done correctly, you want to really be paying attention to what the woman wants. So she'll let you know how she likes to be kissed. All right. And remember, too, that everybody has their own unique brand of kissing, but sometimes you want to change it up, and that's okay. Variety is the spice of life. Just remember that while you're kissing the other person, that you're sensitive to how they're reacting to you. If they're pulling away, if they're gagging, if they're choking, if there's tears coming down their face, obviously you're over the top. But if you really want to know how the other person likes to be kissed, here's a crazy idea. Ask, kiss me, or get them to ask them to kiss you the way they want to be kissed. This is a very, very telling exercise, and it's a great way to learn about what the other lover needs. Learning to kiss tenderly and passionately takes practice. When you kiss a woman, pay attention to how she's kissing you back. Remember, if she's overwhelmed, that's not a good thing. And unless she's expressed that she wants your entire tongue inside her mouth, don't assume that that's what she wants. Because a man's tongue and mouth is usually considerably larger than a woman's. And some guys are just like so overpowering, they just want to stick their tongue down there. And I mean, there's drool coming. Not sexy, not fun, not sensual, borderline crazy. So avoid that. And then also, there's the Woody Woodpecker type of kiss. That's also, it's when you take the tongue and you're darting it in and out, sort of like a pseudo French kiss, in, out, in, out, in, out. That's a little unnerving. And the recipient of that kiss isn't really sure where they fit in. Like, what are they supposed to do with that? So if you are going to kiss properly, the best advice is to adopt a slow and steady kissing technique. And for variety, you might want to suck on the lower lip and maybe using the tip of your tongue to rim the upper lip, her upper lip, or let her kiss your and rim your upper lip. Remember, not everybody likes that, but if you do it correctly, they can end up enjoying it nonetheless. If you're not paying attention to the signals that you're getting, that says a lot about you as a lover. And every woman knows it. She knows it instinctually. So the most important thing here is also don't take your cues about kissing from pornography. In pornography, it is not about kissing. It is about getting guys excited with lots of tits and ass and finishing as quickly as possible. There's no romance, there's no passion, and there's no kissing. Kissing is a very intimate exchange. And so if there is a kiss, it's not a two-way street. It's mostly he's getting off, overpowering her, and then turning her around to do whatever. So in pornography, a kiss is never really important. And yet, it turns out a kiss is the most important introduction of yourself as a lover. And never underestimate the power of a great kiss. It can literally make a woman swoon. So, and of course, once she's swooning, she'll be more likely to want to taste more of the man who knows how to kiss. Now, there are many different types of kissing, and I'm very excited to talk about all of them. The first and most popular one is the French kiss. It's also known as soul to soul. It is when each of your tongues exchanges with the other, and you're putting your tongues in each other's mouth. So there's kind of a touching and a twirling and a rimming, and you come up for breath and it goes back and forth, back and forth. Good French kissing can last for hours. And in that French kissing, lots of other juices are flowing. When the mouth is relaxed, so is the vagina. as well as other parts. So kissing cannot be underestimated, nor should it be underestimated, as a phenomenal way to have some of the most delicious and exciting foreplay that is ever possible. So now that's the first one, and it's called the French kiss. Another kiss, which is really romantic and delightful and can make a woman's knees weak, is called the swoon. The swoon is when a man takes a woman's head and he holds it and supports it in his hands, and then he kisses her tenderly on the lips. It is not deep, it is not hard, it is not fierce, it is tender. And yet it says so much about the person giving it, and then the person receiving it is getting all kinds of phenomenal information about this lover. So to submit, to just kind of relax, to just kind of go with it, it just feels heavenly, and it's really quite delicious. Another kind of kiss, which I think is like, whoa, is the wall kiss. And that means wall. So if it's him, he puts one hand on either side of the wall and he leans in, and she's pressed up against the wall. I think the reason that this kiss is so exciting is because it's so ardent and so passionate. It's like you're almost trapping this person with your passion because they're just so hot and you just want them so badly. So you just kind of lean in and just press into them. Done right, it can turn into a full body hug, which is a wonderful way to hug and massage each other with clothes on. And, a lot of people underestimate that clothing should stay on for as long as possible. I know people like to rip their clothes off as quickly as possible, but the longer you keep those clothes on and try to access each other through the clothing, the hotter each other will get, and the more sexual tension will be building inside the genitals. Now in his, they're pretty obvious. He gets an erection within 5 minutes or less. For her, it does take time, but while you're kissing, all of that blood is rushing to the genital walls and to the clitoris. So you're having the most phenomenal foreplay, the easiest kind of foreplay with a good kiss. So that's the wall kiss. Now, there's another kiss, which I think is particularly good for couples who are not the same height. Okay, so you've got the woman who usually is shorter, and then her man who is going to be taller. Or it could be vice versa, of course. Well, on the steps, the one who is the taller one will be below the one that is the shorter one. So now they're going to be eye to eye, or maybe even a little higher than the other. And this is an embrace that kind of lets the other person know what it feels like to be taken. Because when you are kissing another one and you kind of like suck them in, it is like you're taking their intimacy into you, and you do it with the kiss. But when you're the one that's on the bottom being kissed up, that is it's less of you taking, it's more like you're giving. So when you get the dominant position and you're kissing a partner either directly or down into them, it's a completely different situation, and then a sensation too. So that's another kind of kiss. There's one kiss that's called the Kiss Anytime card. The Kiss Anytime card is, you can never expires, and you give it to your lover. You can put it in their lunchbox, you can put it in their wallet, you can put it in their purse, you can put it in their shirt pocket, you can put it anywhere you want. And when they find it, they can call you to see what kind of a kiss they're going to get. And whether that kiss is over the phone or whether that kiss is, meet them because you can meet them, it's always a great way to add a little bit of excitement to the relationship just by the fact that you're thinking of the other and that you want to kiss them passionately. And of course, with the kiss anytime card, and since it never expires, you can have the kind of kiss that you want to deliver. One of the sexiest kisses around is a not on the mouth kiss. It uses your lips to their best advantage by kissing her all over her body. Starting from the top of the head all the way down, you understand a woman's body is covered with erogenous zones. And as your mouth and those super sensitive lips of yours touch and tease and taste their way around the mounds and flesh of erogenous zones, it is extremely exciting to the recipient. So it doesn't have to be mouth to mouth. Kissing can be used for the entire body, and I strongly recommend you do that. And then there's the Picasso kiss, which is facial mouth kiss to genital lips kiss. Think about it. A woman's genitals are her lips. She's got the labia majora and the labia minora. The labia minora are the thin and longer lips. They're hairless. They're on the inside, but bottom line is they are super sensitive lips. So when a man or partner kisses those lips, those vaginal lips, after kissing them, whether they're tugging on them gently or rimming them or sucking them or whatever, and then kissing the person's mouth and then back to the lips and then back to the mouth, that's one of the most beautiful, wonderful kisses because it's a kind of a special acceptance, one of the most powerful aphrodisiacs, and it's akin to tasting or swallowing the man. So that kiss to mouth to genitals, and then mouth to breasts, and then mouth to genitals, and then mouth to mouth, and then mouth to genitals, and then mouth to breast. That can go on for a long time, but it's seriously one of the most delightful kisses out there. And last but certainly not least is the hand kiss. It is one of the most gracious forms of courtly behavior. And I know people are not thinking about courtly behavior much anymore, but that's why it's so dynamic and it's so you just don't suspect that it will happen. It's just a total surprise. So when someone's reaching for your hand and you outstretch your hand, he takes your hand as if he's going to shake it. He grasps it lightly, and then he turns it clockwise and then kisses the back of her hand for about 2 to 3 seconds and then releases her hand. That is guaranteed to make an impression. So that's my talk about kissing tonight. I hope you found this conversation interesting. I want to welcome all my friends. I see I have people listening in. I'm just so excited that you're here. And, one of the questions is, does kissing with your eyes open take away from intimacy? I don't think so. I mean, when your eyes are closed, you can imagine whatever you need to imagine, and you can feel more sensitively because you have released the sense of sight. And so you're just really focusing on the sensation of the kiss. But when your eyes are open, you are totally accepting the person that you're with. You're not fantasizing about anything else. You're just seeing them, appreciating them, sucking them in, wanting them, seeing them, and appreciating them. And that's what happens when your eyes are open. If your eyes are closed, then you're kind of, in a way, almost taking yourself out of it and just focusing on what the kiss feels like. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I would say that there is absolutely also nothing wrong with opening your eyes and looking at the person and seeing them and drawing them into your passion. And I'm so excited you girls are here. I hope you enjoyed this talk. Please visit my site, yourpleasure.com. You'll go to that long site down there. If you have any questions, send them in. If you have any topics that you think would be great for the show, please send them in. Because this show is of an adult nature, Facebook will not allow me to boost my post. So the only way that I can get people to know that I'm here is by just I have to advertise, not advertise. They won't let me advertise even. I have to just let everybody know when the show is coming and then kind of send them little reminders. But I think that there's so much negativity in the world today that talking about positive things, talking about things that will help us grow as lovers is a good thing to do. And so if you know others that you think would benefit from this talk and from this weekly chat, please suggest that they check out my website on Facebook, Your Pleasure on Facebook, or they can go to YouTube. It's Ellen, Nicolas, Y.P.I. And you just put that in the search engine and you'll find me. Like me, subscribe, and tell your friends, because we're going to talk about something wonderful every single week. Next week, in our continuing series of Becoming the Greatest Physical Lover, we're going to start talking about erogenous zones in depth, about each erogenous zone, why they're an erogenous zone, how they should be handled as such, and how you can appreciate the magnificence of your temple and its phenomenal potential for pleasure. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was my pleasure for your pleasure. Please make sure you're doing your Kegels every single day, at least 5 minutes, and take good care of yourself. Drink lots of water and be good to yourself. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Love you guys. Bye for now.